Hi, this is Ramu, Associate Professor, Department of CSC, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, Hyderabad. In today's class, we are going to see what is a nested structure and how we are going to pass structure as a your argument in the functions. Right? Coming to the nested structure, nested loop. What is the meaning of nested loop? A loop within the loop is called as a nested loop. Nested structure, a structure within the another structure is called as a nested structure. This is the example of nested structure. See, you have an address field, right? In address field, you have a contact details also there. In the contact details, you can include email and mobile number. Both are the different, right? If you want to create a such kind of nested structure, I mean a structure within the another structure, then you are going to opt this kind of concept. See, here, you know that the name is there, state is there, pin is there, and contact. So contact contains two different kinds of fields, right? So mobile number and email ID, right? So here the mobile number and email ID is a substructure, right? If you want to access the substructure, how to access the substructure? We will see one by one. See, I'm going to create one substructure. So this is the data. So this is the address field. So care of name of 10, right? This is an example. Here I'm going to create one substructure with the name of contact. See, struct of contact, right? Here, so two things are there. What first one is the care of name. So care of mobile of 12. So why you took that as a string? Because it's a size of 10 digits, right? But you know that. So our integer is going to store only 4 bytes. 4 bytes means what is the maximum value it is going to store? 2 power 32 minus 1 unsigned int. Then that will not work here. That is why I'm going to take that value as string, right? As well as email, care of email of 12. See, this is the data. This is the data I'm going to consider here, right? So if you want to create a variable, see, first you can consider the as it is. See, first one is, what is that? Name, right? IARE. Next one is pin, right? 50043. Next one, substructure, right? You should use a one more bracket, right? Now we can write the mobile number. So mobile number is string, right? You can write inside the quotes 1, 2, 3, 4, right? After this, email ID. So IARE.ac.in, right? This is the email ID. See, if you want to access the IARE, how you are going to access IARE? So how you are going to access the IARE? Using a.name. If you want to access pin, a.pin. If you want to access 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. How to access the 1, 2, 3, 4? Tell me. So contact dot mobile is a substructure, right? So contact of email. We're going to access like this. See, if you want to access the, observe carefully, if you want to access the name, see, if you use a.name, we'll get the output. Observe carefully. IARE, right? If you want a dot, see, contact is there, right? Contact dot email. Now see what it is going to print. If you run this code, see, you will get the email address as a output. Yes or no? Email output as a address. Right? Is this clear? Okay. So inside structure, if you want to access the inside structure, so otherwise you can take that here as a one variable AB, right? You can use AB also here. See, if you run this code, IARE.ac.in using structure variable. AB is the structure variable, right? AB is a structure variable. You can access like that also. Is this clear? See, here why it used AB is a structure. Otherwise, con. You just use a contact, right? So you just use a con. So is an inside variable, right? Inside variable. That's all, right? Even see, if you remove this one, if you run this code, still you'll get the output, right? Directly you can write inside structure. Inside structure you can write, can access like this. Is this clear? This is a way is called as a nested structure. A structure within the another structure. For example, here, see, you already assigned that value, right? And here what I'm going to do, I'm going to change the email address here. See, what address? strcpy of, what is the data you're going to take? A.email. We're going to change the value as, observe carefully, comma. So, Ramu @ IARE.ac.in. See, if you run this code, yes, semicolon I forgot, right? See, now the data is changed, right? The data is changed. A.con of email.com, email of A.ram. So the value is changed, right? This is the way you're going to use a nested structure. This is the way you're going to use the nested structures. And coming to the next, array of structures. For example, if you want to store 100 students details, 100 student details. See, one student details is required, one structure, but you require 100 student details. Then you require array of students. Means now this is called as array of structures. Array of structures. See, address is there, right? Address is there. Address is there. For example, if you want to show the 100 students addresses, then you need to get 100 times 100 structure variables. All are the which type? All are the which type? Is address type. Address type. So I simply used here array of structures. Observe carefully. Array of structures. Here, this is the array of structures. Right? Array of structures. By using array of structures, you are going to solve that problem. If you want to store the 100 book details, then simply you can create the book of, struct of, book of, b of 100 or 1000, whatever it may be the requirement. You need to create the each and every b1, b2, b3, b4, not required. And one more thing, one more beauty of the structure is you can swap one structure to another structure. For example, structure A is there, right? Structure B is there, right? So if you want to swap these two things, you simply use C equal to A, right? So A equal to B and B equal to A. By using the swapping will work. Unlike our arrays, you cannot swap like this in arrays. Yes or no? You have to copy one by one element. But the structures allow you to swap or transfer entire data from one structure to another structure. This will happen in the structures point of view. Right? Is this clear? So this small example of to creating the 100 structures. For example, if you want to access the structures one by one, simply how are you going to access? See, if you want to access the one by one structure, you simply use A of 0, A of 1, A of 2. Like that you can access. Yes or no? A of 0, A of 1, A of 2 you can access like this. Right? A of 0 means it acts as the first structure. A of 0 dot name. Right? A of 1 dot name means both are the different. This is the first item number 1, and this is the item number 2. Item may be anything. Right? Is this clear? This is the way you are going to work with the array of structures. Right? The next thing, structures and functions. How to pass the structures as your argument in the functions. So the structure variables you can pass as like a normal variable, but the catching variable you should use a struct of address one. See, struct of address one. You created one structure here. You created one structure here, and with name of IARE Telangana 50043. Right? This is the structure initialization. After that, you passed A. So A means this A is copied into the A1. When you use A1.name, A1.name means it is going to retrieve this value. So it is going to print the IARE. Right? As well as A.state means it is going to print the Telangana. Next, if you want A.pin means A1.pin means 50043. The output is like this. This is the output of this statement, this program. Yes or no? So, for example, I'm going to ask you one question, sir. If I change the A11 dot name value is some CB80, this will reflect on the main function? No, it doesn't reflect because it's a call by value process, right? This is the call by value process. Yes or no? This is the call by value process means it is going to create the dummy variables. It is going to create the dummy variables means this A1 is a one variable and A to A is a one variable. So we're going to copy the data. We're going to copy the data from A to A1. So if you perform some modifications here, this is not reflected on the main function because it is a call by value process. That is why. Right? Is this clear? And call by reference. If you want to solve that kind of problem, you just use a call by reference concept. That is a pass by reference. See, instead of sending the variable, here I am going to send the address. You know that ampersand is a operator going to retrieve the address of the variable. Ampersand A means it is going to retrieve the address. Now you are sending the address to here. Right? What you did here? We are going to change the data. See, please note this. Whenever you are going to create a pointer, then that time if you want to access the attributes, you should use, see, A1-pin. Please note this. You should use like this. A1-pin. Right? Otherwise it doesn't work. Please note this. So instead of dot operator, you should use arrow symbol as shown here. Is this clear? So A1-pin equal to 5000 means if you print the data, it is going to print the updated value here. That is the difference. It is the difference with the call by reference and call by value. Because the data which you the updation what is going here, what is going to update here, that will be reflected on here also. Right? Is this clear? Is this clear? Right? This is the passing a structure through the pointers. Next, one more thing. Referential structure means one structure refers to itself is called as a referential structure. See, here, this is the data and here what is that? Struct of node star self means it is going to create a compartment like this. This is the data part and this is the node part means it is going to point to the next structure address it is going to store. This is called as a referential means if you want to create a reference like this, so we are going to store the address of this structure here. If you are going to store the address of this structure here, see, this is the concept is called linked list. We are going to learn this concept in the data structures. If you want to create a structure linked list in C language, you should use a structure because a link is a one part and data is the another type. That is why you should use the linked list as a structure. Is this clear? So we'll see the small examples. For example, if you are going to create a one structure, So this is the data you're going to create here. So I'm going to delete all this data. So I don't have any nested structure here, right? And I'm going to remove this one also. See here, if you observe, I'm going to take the definite one function void of void fun function of, I'm going to take the structure, right? struct struct of structure name. What is the structure name? Address, right? Address of A1, right? Here you just printf of %d comma A1 dot pin, right? So what you did here, A1 dot pin equal to, so 5000 you updated here, right? 5000 you updated here. See, if you have updation here, observe carefully. Here what I'm going to do, a dot pin of %d, and after this what I'm going to do, function of we're going to pass a as a variable. See, a as the variable. If you run this code, see what it is going to display here. Observe carefully. See, the program is going under running. See, here what you did, you just made a small change. So A is under, yeah. So this one is a capital A, right? Capital A. That is why this way it generates an error. Yes. See what I did here. I changed the value of a dot pin here. Yes, it is going to display 5000 in the first, but 5043 in the main function. The reason is the updation what you change in the sub function, it is not going to reflect on the main function. Reason is you send by call by value. Call by value means it is going to be the two sets of data. You changed here 5000, but here the data is 5043 is as it is. Right? Is this clear? This is called as a call by value concept. For example, if you apply address of this one, address of this data. So here I'm going to use a star, right? Here instead of this, I'm going to use a pin. Here also you should use hyphen pin. Now, if you run this code, see what it is going to display. Yes. So it is going to display 5000 in the sub function. Also main function also is going to print the 5000. The reason is the updation what happened in the sub function is going to reflect on the main function, because this concept is called as a call by reference. Please note this. Call by reference means the updation which happened in the sub function is going to reflect on the main function also. Right? Is this clear? So, in interview point of view, these topics are very, very important. Call by reference and call by value concepts. Right? They are going to ask you what is a call by reference, what is a call by value. Right? Give me an example. So, best example is the swapping. Right? Is this clear? And referential structure. Okay. The next class we will see what is a union and how union are different from the structure. Okay. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.